The boardroom lights were cold and white. The table was long. The men and women around it watched one man stand. His name was Damon Cole. He was a black CEO known for steel rules and hard choices. Reporters called him Ice. Staff called him Sir. He did not smile when the vote moved his way. He only said, "Meeting adjourned," then closed his folder with quiet hands. Outside the glass walls, the city night glowed with rain. The storm had washed color from the streets, left only gray and silver lines under the lamps. Damon walked with the firm step of a man who always knows where he is going. He did not slow when people moved out of his path. He did not stop when a junior manager tried to speak. He only nodded once and kept moving. His face said nothing. His suit did the talking. The elevator doors opened. He stepped in alone. The mirrored walls showed 4 Damons, all calm, all sharp, all silent. He checked his watch out of habit. He planned the next morning, the next week, the next month. To him, time was a wall of squares. He filled each square. He kept control. That was how he stayed on top. At the ground floor, the lobby guards straightened. The revolving doors pushed out into the rain-soaked street, where Maya, his driver and PA, waited with an umbrella. She was fast and loyal, the kind of person who made order in chaos. She held the umbrella high so not one drop marked his suit. "Car is ready," Maya said. Damon nodded. He did not waste words. The rain was heavy and the air smelled like wet stone and old tires. The street hissed with water and taxis passed with a slow roar. They moved toward the Blacktown car. The plan was simple: ride, call, sleep. Then a sound cut through the hiss and roar. A baby cried. It was not a long cry. It was small and sharp, a pin in the noise. Damon did not stop, but something in his step paused. He had heard many sounds at night. Sirens, horns, voices calling for deals, for rides, for mercy. But a baby's cry was not a sound he could ignore. Not tonight. Maya saw him turn his head. "Sir?" she asked, careful. "Give me the umbrella," he said. He took it from her and let his eyes scan the street. The rain blurred lines and faces. Headlights threw quick light across the sidewalk. There, near a broken bus shelter, a pale shape sat on a metal bench. It was a woman with a small bundle at her chest. The plastic roof over the shelter was cracked. Water dripped down in thin fingers. She held the baby close, her body curved like a shield. Damon walked toward the shelter. Maya followed, 2 steps back, phone in hand, always ready. As he came nearer, he saw the woman's face. She was young. Her hair was dark from the rain, stuck to her cheeks. Her skin was white and cold. Her clothes were not made for the storm. The baby's tiny hand pressed into her coat. She held the baby to her breast, nursing under the thin fabric, trying to keep him warm. She did not look up when Damon stopped. She was focused on the small life in her arms. Her breath was a soft rush. Her eyes were wide with worry. The baby made a weak sound, then coughed. It was a dry, tight cough that carried fear with it. Damon set the umbrella so it covered them. Rain hit the fabric in quick taps. He took off his coat, heavy with heat, and held it out. "Take this," he said. His voice was calm and even, the voice he used in rooms where people argued about money. The woman looked up at last. Her eyes flicked to his face, then to Maya, then to the street. She did not ask who he was. She did not thank him. For a second, she seemed to measure danger. She saw the expensive coat. She saw the driver. She saw the town car waiting with warm leather and tinted glass. Her mouth tightened. She took the coat and wrapped it around the baby. Only then did she answer in a small voice, "Thank you." "What's the baby's name?" Damon asked. She hesitated. "Noah," she said. The name came out like a secret. "How old?" 3 months. The baby coughed again. She held him closer and rocked a little, left and right, left and right. Maya leaned in. "There's an urgent care 2 blocks away, sir," she said. "Open all night," the woman stiffened. "No clinic," she said quickly. "Please, why?" Damon asked. His tone did not change. He was used to answers. "I can't be seen," she said. Her eyes cut toward the street again as if the rain itself might be watching. "Please," Damon looked where she looked. A black SUV idled half a block down. Lights on, windows dark. The engine made a slow, heavy sound. It did not move with traffic, it waited. He had seen cars like that in many nights for many reasons. They could be security. They could be trouble. They could be both. "Who is in that car?" he asked. She shook her head. "I don't know." It did not sound true. But it did sound scared. The baby's small body was hot under the coat. Even from where he stood, Damon could see sweat on the child's hairline. He listened to the breath, too fast, too shallow. He did not know baby medicine, but he knew danger when he heard it. A fever can climb. A cough can tighten. Minutes can become the whole story. Urgent care, Damon said to Maya. The woman pulled back, her arms closing around the baby. Her voice rose. No clinic, please, I can't, I don't have papers. I don't want anyone to call anyone. I can't be on a list. Not tonight, please. The rain made a curtain around them. People passed at the edge of sight. Hurried bodies, bent heads, umbrellas like black flowers. A couple slowed and stared. One of them lifted a phone for just a second, then moved on. What is your name? Damon asked. She swallowed. Lily. Last name? Her eyes hardened. Just Lily, he nodded once. Lily, the baby needs warmth, dry air, and a doctor to listen. You can come with me, no names. No lists, my car, my rules. That is all. She looked at his face, searching for the trap. She saw none, but she still shook her head. If I go with you and they are watching, it gets worse, she whispered. For me, for him. Who is they? Damon asked, her jaw clenched. I don't know, she whispered again. And this time the lie was smaller, but it was still a lie. Maya took a half step toward Damon. Sir, we can call the private pediatrician. He can meet us at a place of your choosing. Her voice was low and steady. She had already begun typing, already moving pieces on the board. Damon's mind made fast lines. Problem, time, risk, decision. He had spent years tearing out softness from his choices. He had told himself kindness was a luxury for people who did not carry whole companies on their backs. But here in the rain, a very small person needed a decision that could not wait. He straightened. We are leaving now, he said. Not loud, not harsh, only final. He moved the umbrella so it covered Lily and the baby more than himself. Rain slid cold down the back of his neck. He did not notice. Lily looked at the black SUV again. It had moved half a car length closer. The driver's window was still dark. The engine still hummed. Fear drew a fine line across her mouth. She bent her head to the baby and kissed his damp forehead. He whimpered and kicked weakly. All right, she said. The word was a sigh and a surrender. But no names, no photos, no police. No names, Damon said. No photos, he added, though he knew the city did not always care about his rules. They left the shelter together. Damon walked on the street side, so the spray from passing cars hit his shoes, not the woman or the child. Maya stepped ahead and opened the rear door. Warm air moved out to meet the rain, a soft line of comfort. Lily hesitated on the curb. Her eyes cut left, then right. The SUV idled. A figure shifted behind the windshield, only a hint, only a shadow. Now, Damon said. He helped her into the car. He did not touch the baby. He closed the door quickly so heat would not escape. He slid in on the other side. Maya shut them in and went around to drive. The car was quiet, the kind of quiet that comes from good design. The baby's breathing sounded louder inside. Lily kept Damon's coat wrapped tight. Her wet hair left little marks on the leather. She stared at her hands. Water dripped from her sleeves to the floor mat. Where is the urgent care? Damon asked. Maya spoke from the front. East on 7th, 2 blocks. But I can divert to the private practice if you say. Call the doctor, Damon said. Tell him to meet us at the clinic entrance. He will walk us in. No front desk. No names. Already texting, Maya said. Lily whispered. Thank you. Without looking up. Do not thank me, Damon said. Keep the baby warm. That is all. The car pulled away from the curb. Water scrolled up over the windows. The city became moving silver lines again. In the side mirror, the black SUV turned its nose toward them. Its headlights slid into the lane behind. It did not hurry. It did not lag. It simply followed, a patient shadow. Lily saw it too. Her breath hitched. She folded herself more around the baby as if she could make her body into a house. Who is that? Maya asked, watching the mirror. Keep driving, Damon said. His face showed no fear, only calculation. He had outrun worse things than a car. He had also learned that what follows quietly can be the most dangerous. Rain beat a soft drum over the roof. The wipers carved clear slices in the storm. Streetlights passed in a rhythm. Gold, then gone, then gold again. Inside the car, the baby coughed, then settled, then coughed again. Each breath wrote a small line of urgency across the minute. Maya turned left. The clinic sign shone ahead, blue and white through the rain. A few people stood under the awning, smoking, talking in low voices. A nurse in scrubs pushed a cart back inside. Life went on, simple and ordinary, just like any night. But not for them, sir, Maya said softly. We have followers on the sidewalk, phones. Damon looked. Even through rain, he saw faces turn, saw the quick, hungry light of screens. Some knew his name. Some only knew the face. Is that him? A voice asked, thin through the glass. Another voice, the cold one, a laugh, a click. Lily shrank into the coat. Please, she whispered. Please, no pictures. Damon felt the familiar tightness of control move through him. This was a formula he knew. Image, rumor, attack. He had built walls to keep such things out. Yet here he sat, with a soaked young mother and a sick baby in his back seat, pulling up to a blue-lit clinic with a shadow car behind and phones in front. Maya stopped under the awning. She jumped out and opened the door for Lily. Warm light spilled into the car. Voices rose. Someone lifted a phone high, trying for a better angle. Another person said his name, sharp and excited like a headline already formed. Damon stepped out and moved close to Lily and the baby, blocking the view with his body as much as he could. This way, he said, guiding her under the awning toward the side door Maya had pointed out. The door swung open from inside. A man in a white coat stood there with a stethoscope and tired eyes. Mr. Cole? He asked, glancing once at the crowd, then at the small, wrapped shape. Bring them in. They were 3 steps from the door when the night froze and brightened. A camera flash exploded like lightning in a bottle. Close, hot, and greedy. For a second, everything turned white. In that white, Damon felt Lily flinch. He heard the baby cry out thin and fierce. He turned his head toward the light and saw, just before the glare died, the outline of a phone held by a hand he did not know, and a face he could not place. The white faded to gray rain and gold lamps again. The black SUV eased to the curb across the street, still waiting, still watching. Another phone rose. Another lens pointed. Somewhere a voice said, "Got it." And just like that, the moment was no longer only theirs. It belonged to the storm, to the city, and to whoever had captured it forever. The flash still burned in their eyes when the side door closed. Inside was bright white and too clean. The air smelled like lemon and bleach. The floor was wet from shoes and rain. A red camera light blinked above the door, slow and steady, like a small eye that never slept. The doctor in the white coat moved fast. He was in his 50s, with gentle hands and tired lines on his face. This way, he said. He did not waste time on greetings. He knew who Damon was. He also knew when a baby could not wait. They went down a narrow hall. A nurse closed a curtain behind them. The noise from outside grew soft, like the rain was now far away. Lily held the baby tighter under Damon's coat. Baby Noah made a dry, tight sound in his chest. He tried to cry and then ran out of air. That sound cut through the doctor like a blade. He placed a small sensor on Noah's toe. The tiny red light came to life. The monitor beeped slow, then faster. Fever, the doctor said. We will cool him and listen to his lungs. He looked at Lily, not at Damon. Name for the chart? Lily's eyes jumped once to the ceiling camera. The red dot blinked. Blink, blink. Eve, she said. The lie was small on her tongue, but it was a lie. Eve Lane. The doctor nodded like he believed her, though he did not. Okay, Eve. He turned to Damon without turning his head. We'll keep the front desk out of it. Maya stood near the curtain, phone in her hand, face calm. She had already sent a short message to someone who did not need names, only instructions. She kept her voice low. Side entrance is clear, but there are phones under the awning, sir. 2 faces seen before at the building. Media trackers, keep them there, Damon said. No one comes in unless the doctor asks. He did not sit. He stood beside the small bed as they unwrapped Noah bit by bit. The baby's skin was hot. Sweat stuck his fine hair to his head. His feet were cold. The nurse placed a warm blanket under him and a cool cloth over his forehead. The doctor listened with his stethoscope, his eyes narrow with focus. In the monitor, numbers rose and fell in a rhythm like a scared bird. What about his cough? Lily asked. Her voice shook. He started 2 days ago. Then tonight, she stopped. She swallowed the rest. Quiet breaths, the doctor said. He will be okay. We will help him breathe easier. You did the right thing to keep him warm and nurse him. Lily's shoulders dropped a little as if a heavy pack had shifted. Her eyes shone not from rain now but from held-back tears. "Thank you," she said, and she meant it. The doctor nodded once and moved with the calm skill of long years. A small mist machine hummed. A clear mask, tiny as a toy, hovered near Noah's face. The nurse spoke soft like a lullaby. "Just air. Just a little medicine. It will help." Noah's breaths fought the mask at first, then yielded. The tight sound in his chest softened. His hands unclenched. His eyelids grew heavy. Each beep from the monitor fell into a slower time. Lily watched him as if the world could vanish if she blinked. The hand that was not on Noah's back shook with leftover fear. Damon saw that hand.
He had seen hands shake in boardrooms, at deal tables, at funerals.
He had never wanted to steady them. He wanted to steady this one. Maya's phone buzzed. She read without moving her face. "It started," she said. "What?" Damon asked. "The stories," Maya said. 2 accounts posted a clip. Headline text over your face. "Cold CEO carries mystery woman and baby into clinic at midnight." She read the rest with no tone. Comments. "Who is she?" "Publicity move?" "Scandal?" "Hero or PR?" "The usual fire." The doctor kept working, his mouth a tight line. "Phones are a disease we cannot treat," he said. "Hold the curtain." Damon held it. He had been called names before. He had fed those fires and starved them when it suited him. He had never had a baby's breath under the same smoke. That changed the air. Lily's own phone vibrated in her pocket. She went still as if the sound might be a snake. She took it out with slow fingers. The screen was cracked. A drop of rain slid down the glass like a tear that did not belong to her. One message. Unknown number. 2 words, he knows. Lily's throat closed. She did not gasp. She did not scream. She did what a hunted person does. She made her voice nothing. Only her eyes spoke, wide, dark, and full of old fear. Damon saw the message in the screen's reflection. He did not ask who he was. He understood the shape of it. He had seen that shape in late reports and in early deals. In things men hide with money and in things they hide with fists. Maya's eyes flicked to Lily's phone, then to the camera above them, then to the curtain edge where a shadow passed. "We're not alone in the hall," she said. "Footsteps keep stopping outside." "Block the hall," Damon said. Maya stepped out. Her body was small, but her presence filled space. "This area is closed," she told the shadow beyond the curtain. Her voice was polite and sharp. "You can wait in the lobby," a low voice answered. "Just looking for the bathroom." A lie dressed as casual talk. The footsteps moved away, slow, then fast. Inside, the doctor's hands were gentler now. "He is more stable," he said. "We need an hour. Maybe 2. We will run a test to be sure there is no infection." He glanced at Damon. "No papers. No names, but I will need consent from the mother. In writing." Lily tensed again. "No paper," she said. "Please." The doctor tapped the chart, empty where a name should be. He sighed, then verbal. "I will mark verbal mother consent. It is not standard." He looked at Damon for a second. "But life is not standard. Do it," Damon said. The nurse brought a small cup and a bottle for Lily. "Drink," she said. "You are shaking." Lily took the cup with stiff fingers. She drank. The water tasted like the city. She reached for her baby again, one hand on his back, one finger tracing the line of his soft ear. The tiny mask hissed and faded, hissed and faded. The monitor sang its careful song. On his phone, Damon saw a new email from his CFO. He opened it because he opened everything. The subject line was a knife. Account review hold. Immediate. He scanned it fast. Words like compliance, temporary, and pending flashed at him. He could hear Mr. Grant's shadow in those words. He filed it. Not now. The baby first. War later, Maya returned inside. The SUV made a slow pass, she reported. Cameras on the street turned. One of the smokers near the door was not smoking. He was filming. "Faces?" Damon asked. "Covered," she said. "Caps, hoods, budget thriller costumes." The red camera light above them kept blinking. Blink, blink. The small eye never closed. The doctor looked up at it too. "I am sorry," he said. "We have to have them. For safety. Sometimes cameras hurt safety." Damon stepped closer to it and stared at the lens as if he could send a law through it by will alone. He could not. Power did strange things in small rooms. Often it shrank to nothing. A nurse from the front came to the curtain edge. Her shoes squeaked. She kept her voice low. Someone called in and asked if a baby named Noah was here. They said they were family. Lily's body went rigid. No, she said, and the word was a blade. No one. Do not tell anyone anything. Of course, the nurse said. She looked at Damon, then at the doctor. Fear worked under her calm face. They also asked if Mr. Damon Cole was present. Damon did not flinch. Say no one by that name is registered, he said. Because no one is. The nurse nodded and vanished like a ghost. Her shoes squeaked once and then were gone. The doctor set the stethoscope down. He drew the curtain open a few inches and spoke to Maya. I want them in room C, no windows. No cameras. It is used for counseling, he paused. And for times like these, they moved like a small convoy. Maya walked first, a slim shield with a firm step. Damon followed with the umbrella, closed now but still a kind of armor. Lily came after them, bent over Noah, who slept under the warm blanket and the big coat. The doctor and nurse came last. The hall lights hummed. The red exit sign glowed at the end like a quiet threat. They passed a door with a window. Damon saw his own reflection there. He looked different in the glass, almost human and almost not. A man built like a wall carrying a seed. Room C was small. No window, no camera. Only 2 chairs, a couch, and a soft lamp. The room smelled faintly of lavender. The noise of the clinic fell away as the door closed. The doctor checked the monitor again, then made notes in neat, quick strokes. We will keep him 1 hour, he said. Maybe 90 minutes. If he stays steady, you can move, not far, but move. Thank you, Lily said again, and this time the word trembled. The doctor put a hand on the back of one chair. Whoever is trying to find you will not find you here, he said. Not tonight. He glanced at Damon once more like he wanted to say something larger, but he let it pass. I will return in 10 minutes. They were alone. The lamp turned the room gold. Outside, the storm threw soft fists at the roof. Inside, time stretched thin and clear. Damon stood and watched Lily watch her child. He did not speak. He did not check his email again. He let the quiet be the strongest thing. Lily's phone lit the dark of her lap. Another message. You can't hide. She put the phone face down. Her hand covered it like a lid covers fire. Maya's phone buzzed too. She read and lifted her eyes. They posted a still photo, she said. The flash caught you giving her your coat. It is everywhere now. Damon pictured 1,000 comments he did not care about and one man who might. He set his jaw. Let them talk. Lily's voice was very small. He will see it, she said. Then he will see you are not alone, Damon said. A minute passed. Then 2. The lamp hummed. The baby slept with little sighs like tiny songs of relief. Lily closed her eyes and breathed with him. The same slow rhythm. A shape darkened the narrow window in the room door. They had not seen a window in the door before. It was the kind covered with wire, the kind some rooms have no matter what anyone wants. The shape stayed a second, then slid away. Damon crossed and opened the door fast. A man in a gray hoodie looked back at him and smiled the weak smile of someone who wears a lie on his face. Wrong room, the man said. He moved away quick. Maya stepped into the hall and followed him with her gaze until he turned a corner. She returned, shut the door, and slid a chair under the handle. The chair did not lock anything. But it said something. It said, we are not easy. The doctor came back with the nurse. Good signs, he said, tapping the monitor. We will start a small antibiotic just in case. I will give you the first dose here. After, you will need a safe, warm place. Not public, not noisy. Damon nodded once. Understood. The nurse handed Lily a small bag. Blanket. A tiny hat. Some wipes. No label, she said, as if she were handing a plan. Lily took the bag and hugged it to her chest as if it were a second child. They waited. The hour was almost up. The storm lost some weight against the roof as if the night had taken a slow breath and let it out. Time to go, the doctor said at last. Go out the same side door. Avoid the lobby. If anyone stops you, send them to me. They moved again, quiet and fast. Room C, hall, corner, side door. Maya checked the handle and the angle. She opened it on a thin slice of rain and night. The outside world came back like a shout. Voices under the awning. Phones ready, faces tilted, hungry for something to eat. The rain had softened, but the eyes had not. The clinic's neon sign hummed above them, cold and blue. Across the street, the black SUV had returned. It sat where it had not parked the first time, closer and bolder. The engine was on. The headlights were off. The driver's window rolled down with a slow, smug sound. A hand rested on the edge of the window. On the ring finger was a thick silver band carved into a skull. The hand tapped the door twice. Tap. Tap. The SUV did not move. Damon stepped slightly in front of Lily and the baby. Maya's eyes cut from the SUV to the crowd to the camera on the clinic wall. The doctor stood in the doorway behind them, his jaw set. A thin man ready to fight with nothing but rules and a pen. A fresh flash popped from the crowd, white and greedy. In that white, Damon saw the skull ring again, and he understood. The rain outside had quieted, but the storm had only learned to sit and wait. Rain ran in thin lines off the awning. Phones waited like small cold mouths. Across the street, the black SUV sat with its lights off. The driver's window was down. A hand rested there, broad knuckles, a thick silver ring cut into a skull. The hand tapped the door twice. Tap, tap. Maya measured the street in one sweep. Side alley, she said. Back of house exit, now. The doctor nodded once, fast. Kitchen corridor. I'll open it. He stepped ahead, badge out, and swiped a gray door. A buzzer cried. The door clicked. Stay behind me, Damon said to Lily. He moved so his body blocked the view of the baby. The crowd under the awning shifted for a better angle. Another flash hit, white and greedy. Damon did not look their way. He kept his eyes on the skull ring and the door between them and the night. They slipped through the gray door. It shut on the noise. The hallway tasted like steel pans and hot water. The floor was wet in long tracks. A rolling cart squeaked. Somewhere, a dishwasher roared like a storm inside a box. The doctor waved them on. Right, then left, he said. There's a service exit by the trash bay. Sorry for the smell. Maya moved ahead, quick and small. Damon followed with Lily close. Baby Noah under his coat, warm against her chest. The baby gave a tiny sigh. The mist medicine had softened his breath. His skin felt less hot. Lily felt that change with every step. She held him tighter. They turned right, then left. Heat from the kitchen slapped their faces. Cooks looked up, saw the man in the suit, the woman with the baby, the doctor in a rush, and then they went back to their pans. Night work has its own rules. People do not ask. People keep moving. At the end of the hall, a steel door waited with a red bar. Maya pressed it. The door swung open to a narrow ramp that fell into dark. The smell hit them. Wet cardboard, old fruit, rain on concrete. Beyond the ramp, the alley made a black river through the block. Maya scanned once more. Clear, she said. 3 minutes, maybe less. Car? Damon asked. Not the town car, Maya said. They know it, she pointed. At the alley mouth, an old gray hatchback blinked its hazards as if it were nervous. I borrowed that from the clinic cook for cash. No plates in front. Back plate is dirty. It blends. The doctor stood in the door. I will say you used the lobby, he said. If anyone asks, I will say I saw nothing. Damon held the doctor's eyes. You saw a baby breathe easier, he said. Send me the bill. The doctor made a small sound that was not a laugh and not a sigh. Bring him back tomorrow for a listen, he said to Lily, if you can. We will, Damon said. It came out like a promise he would not break. They ran the ramp. Rain found them again, thin and sharp. Maya took the driver's seat. Damon slid in the back with Lily and the baby. The old hatchback smelled like onion and coffee and the faint ghost of a fried lunch. The door shut with a rough thud. Maya killed the hazard, started the engine, and rolled out slow, like a tired cat leaving a warm spot. In the rear glass, the clinic's blue sign hummed. The crowd stayed at the front door. One had turned, but too late. The Skull Ring SUV waited across the street, still and patient. The hatchback dipped into the main road, became another wet shadow among wet shadows, and was gone. Maya took 2 lefts, then 1 long right. She drove like a person who has learned the city with her feet. We need to lose any tail, she said. We also need to lose any trackers. Phones first. Lily clutched her cracked phone. She could feel the last message under the glass like a thorn. He knows. Give me your phone, Maya said. Lily hesitated. That phone held photos of Noah's first smile, a voice memo of his first laugh, one text from a friend 6 months ago that said, I believe you, and too many messages she did not want. But she nodded and handed it over. Damon unlocked his own and passed it forward too. Maya dropped both into a small metal tin she kept in the glove box. She clicked the lid shut. "This blocks most signals," she said. "Not perfect. Better than nothing." Damon looked at his coat around Lily and the baby. He remembered the flash at the clinic door. He remembered the skull ring and the way the SUV had always seemed to know where to be. A thought cut through. "My coat," he said. "Give it here a second." Lily loosened it with care. The baby was warm now under a clinic blanket and a tiny hat the nurse had given her. Damon took the coat and ran his fingers along the lining, slow and sure. He did not know baby medicine. He did know hardware. In the right inner seam he felt a small hard circle. Not a button. Not a coin. He cut the lining with his thumbnail. A black disc fell into his palm, a tracker the size of a bottle cap, Maya hissed. "They bugged your coat," she said. "After the flash," Damon said. Quick hands, Lily went cold. She thought of the hand with the skull ring. She thought of the message. "He knows it was not magic. It was method." Maya took the disc. "Decoy," she said. At the next light, a taxi idled with a roof sign blinking. She rolled her window down, called, "Hey, driver!" and tossed the disc through the back window onto the seat. "Thanks." She shouted to no one and rolled up the glass. The light turned green. The taxi pulled away toward the bright side of town. If the tracker sent pings, it would paint a path that led nowhere they were going. Damon breathed once, deep, like a diver coming up. "Good," he said. "Now the shelter." "Which one?" Maya asked. "Hotel near the river is quiet. Or the old inn by the bridge. The bridge has fewer cameras." "Bridge," Damon said. "Ghost name, Cash," Maya nodded. "I texted ahead. They know me, not you. 1 room, 2 beds. No windows at street level." Lily looked down at Noah's face. The mist medicine had made his breaths even. He slept with his mouth a little open, the way babies do. Relief came over her like a thin blanket. Small, but real. Maya cut through 2 blocks of dark buildings, then dipped under a bridge where the water sounded like someone tearing paper forever. She pulled into a lot with 9 spaces and 6 cars. A small sign buzzed. "Bridge Inn." The office was just a window with a bell and a tired plant. "I'll check in," Maya said. "You wait." "Door's locked." She went out in a hood, head down, cash in hand. The man behind the glass knew her by sight. He passed a key on a leather fob that looked older than both of them. Maya did not write a name. He did not ask for one. The bell chimed like a small apology. Back in the car, Maya handed Damon the key. "Room 7, she said. "Side stairs. No hall cameras. I asked the clerk to forget your face. He said he forgets everything. Phones?" Damon asked. Maya lifted the tin. "I'll take them for a ride later," she said. "Let them sing to the wrong towers." They parked by a set of metal stairs that climbed like a spine. Damon got out first and looked up and down. The lot was quiet. The bridge hummed. The rain had thinned to a mist that touched the air but did not fall. They climbed. The key turned with effort. The door opened onto a small room, clean and plain. 2 beds, 1 chair, 1 small table, a soft, buzzing fridge, heavy curtains that swallowed the outside. It smelled like old soap and a memory. Maya did a quick sweep with her eyes and hands. She looked under the beds, behind the curtains, inside the closet. She unscrewed the lamp and checked the base. She shook the phone on the table. "All clear," she said. "For now." Lily sat on the edge of the bed and let out a breath that had been in her lungs since the bus shelter. She pressed her cheek to Noah's hat and closed her eyes. He slept with his hand curled around nothing, safe for this minute, and this minute was all she had. Damon stood by the window and listened. The bridge sang its low forever song. A night train called to no one in particular. He took out his wallet, found cash, and set it on the table in a neat pile. Food, doctor, gas, whatever came. He did not count it twice. Maya set the tin with the phones on the fridge. "Rules," she said, gentle but firm. "No lights by the window. No standing in front of the curtains. No door without a knock. No phone calls in or out. If you must text, I take the phone outside and send from a random street for 20 seconds, then I kill it." Lily opened her eyes and nodded. Simple rules felt like a plan. Plans felt like hope. Damon added 1 more rule. His voice was level. "No lies inside this room," he said. "Not about small things. Not about big things. I will not ask questions tonight. The baby comes first. But tomorrow I will ask, and I expect answers." He looked at Lily. Not unkind, not soft. That is the string. My help, your truth. Lily held his look. A long second passed. She swallowed. Tomorrow, she said, and the word sounded like a promise she was brave enough to make and scared to keep. Maya cracked the bathroom door. Steam rose from a running shower. Warm up the room, she said. Steam helps the baby's chest. Sit with him here. Breathe with him. She rolled a towel and set it at the bathroom threshold to keep the steam in the air. Old nurse trick from my mother, she added, a small piece of herself she did not often share. Damon's phone buzzed from inside the tin, a dull insect sound. Maya opened the lid a crack and held the screen where only Damon could see. CFO, urgent, he tapped the edge. The message opened. Accounts frozen across 3 banks. Compliance review triggered. Grant called emergency board at 7 a.m. One more line. Security team asking your building for access. Damon's jaw set. The board was not a storm he feared, but their timing was a blade. He typed 3 words, not tonight, hold. He slid the phone back into the tin and shut the lid like he was shutting a mouth. Lily watched his face. He did not look cold now. He looked like a man who had decided where to stand. That made a new fear and a new safety in her at the same time. Maya lifted the tin. I'll run the phones, she said. 10 minutes. Maybe 15. I'll loop around the bridge and let these talk to the wrong towers. Then I'll dump the SIMs in different trash cans. If you need me, do not open the door. Knock twice, pause, then once. That's me. Go, Damon said. Be careful, Maya gave a small smile. Always, she said and slipped out. Steam spread through the small room, soft and warm. Lily sat in the bathroom doorway with baby Noah against her chest, the tiny hat on his head, the blanket up to his chin. She breathed slow so he would copy. In, out, in, out. His breathing matched hers, small and even. She touched his fingers and counted them again as if proof could keep him safe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Damon stood by the door, listening to the old building talk to itself. Wood creaked. Pipes ticked. A neighbor coughed in a room they could not see. He checked the chain. He checked the lock. He checked the chair he had leaned under the knob. He was a man who believed in walls. For the first time in a long time, he wanted a wall not to keep his world in, but to keep another world out. A soft scrape came from the hall. Paper on wood. Damon froze. He moved to the peephole and looked. The walkway was empty. The bridge hummed. The rain hissed. He opened the door a finger's width, the chain still on, and looked down. A business card lay on the floor. It was black. The front was blank. The back carried one thing only, a pressed silver skull where a logo should be. No name, no number. No words Lily's breath caught. What is it? She asked. Nothing we need, Damon said. He slid the card under the fridge with his shoe. His face did not change. His eyes did. He closed the door. The chain clicked. The chair stayed. He walked back to the bathroom doorway. How is he? Better, Lily said. Her voice was quiet and deep with tired. He is warm. He is calm. Good, Damon said. He looked at the tiny hat, the tiny hand, the small chest. He had made many deals. None looked like this. A new sound lifted from the table, a faint buzz. Not a phone. Something inside the room. Damon turned. On the little fridge next to the stacked cash sat the leather key fob the clerk had given Maya. In the leather near the ring, a tiny red light blinked. Blink. Blink. It had not blinked before. Damon crossed the room in 2 steps. He picked up the fob. The red light blinked again. A small dot of light that did not belong to leather or metal. He turned the fob over. The leather was split at one edge and glued back. He pulled it apart. A grain of rice device sat inside, humming to itself. The key, Damon said. They tagged the key. Lily's blood went cold. How? She asked. The clerk? Damon said. He shook his head once. Or the one before the clerk. Doesn't matter. He walked to the sink, put the device under the running water, then crushed it with a glass. The red light died. Pack up, he said, voice low and level. We are not staying. Lily stared at him, then down at Noah. The baby slept. He needed time and warmth. She needed time and warmth too. But the red light had told a hard truth: time did not live here. Where? She asked. Somewhere they do not expect, Damon said. Not a hotel. Not a clinic. Not my penthouse. A place with no cameras and no front desk. Maya knocked, 2 taps, a pause, then 1. Damon opened the door to the chain length. She slipped in, wet hair, calm face. Phones took a long walk, she said. eSIMs are in 5 different trash cans. What did I miss? Damon held up the broken key fob and the dead chip. They tagged the room key. Maya's mouth thinned. Then we go now, she said. The laundromat on 9th never closes. The owner is my cousin. Back office is a storage closet with no window. It smells like soap. It is ugly. It is safe. Do it, Damon said. Maya nodded. She was already moving in her head. Stairs, angles, exits, sight lines. We'll leave the tracker in the room for 2 minutes, she said. Then toss it out the window into a truck bed. Let them chase noise, she looked at Lily. Can you walk? Yes, Lily said. She stood steady. For him, I can walk anywhere. They moved fast. Damon wrapped the clinic blanket around Noah, then added another towel warmed by the steam. Lily put on the coat without the tracker, now only a coat. Damon took the cash, the tin, the broken fob. He left the black skull card under the fridge. Let the skull sit with the cold. They slipped into the night again, down the metal stairs into the old gray hatchback that did not care who rode in it. The bridge sang. The rain held its breath. As they pulled out, a car at the far end of the lot woke up. No headlights, engine whispering. It did not follow. Not yet, it only watched. Maya saw it in the mirror and marked it in her head. Eyes on us, she said. Let them look, Damon said. We will not be where they think. They turned onto 9th. The city changed shape at this hour. Windows went dark. Trucks took the roads. Cats owned the alleys. A laundromat sign blinked in the distance, soft and tired. Open. The word looked like a hand held out. Maya parked at the side door. She tapped twice in a fast rhythm. The door opened to a man with kind eyes and a shirt that said Hernandez Laundry. He saw Maya, then Lily with the baby, then Damon in the dark behind them. He stepped back. Office, he said. It is small. It is safe, they went in. The hum of machines wrapped them like a blanket. Warm air smelled like soap and coin metal. In the office, a desk and a chair left just enough space for one more breathing body. It was ugly. It was safe. Lily sat with Noah. Damon stood at the door. Maya spoke to her cousin in a low voice in a language that sounded like a song cut into sharp pieces. He nodded, then flipped a switch. The front lights went dim. From the street, the laundromat looked closed. Damon's phone buzzed in the tin. A dull, faraway beep. 6:02 a.m. The board would meet at 7. Mr. Grant would sharpen his smile. The skull ring would tap, tap, tap. Damon's eyes were calm. He had a baby to protect and a war to fight. Both would start at dawn. From the front of the laundromat came the small, bright sound of a bell as the glass door opened. Maya froze. The cousin froze. Damon lifted one finger and did not breathe. Footsteps on tile. Slow. Then the soft sound of a coin sliding into a slot. A washer door opened. Metal clinked. Clothes rustled. The sound of a lid closing. Then another coin. Another lid. The steps moved to the row near the office wall. Stopped. Through the thin wall, a voice spoke. It was a man's voice, low and smooth, the kind that smiles while it cuts. Room C, the voice said. How did you like the lavender? Lily's eyes went wide. She had not told anyone the room name at the clinic. She had not told anyone about the lavender smell. The voice laughed softly. Then the bell rang again as the front door opened and closed. Silence fell, heavy as wet cloth. Damon opened the office door half an inch and looked through the crack. The laundromat floor was empty. Washers spun. Dryers hummed. A single quarter rolled in a slow circle near the front, then fell flat and stopped. He closed the door gently and turned back to Lily and the baby, to Maya and the humming machines. The storm outside had not ended. It had only found a new roof. Morning crept in like a thin gray line. The laundromat hummed. Washers spun their slow planets. Dryers whispered like warm wind. In the small office, Lily held baby Noah and watched his chest rise and fall. His breath was calm now. The tiny hat sat sweet on his head. She counted again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers, because counting kept fear small. Maya stood by the door with her cousin, the owner. They spoke in low voices that moved like a soft saw. Damon stayed in the corner, still and sharp. He was a man shaped like a decision. His eyes did not look tired. They looked awake in a hard way. 41 way, Mom. Board at 7, Maya said. Grant called it. He wants your chair. He can want it, Damon said. His tone was cool. Wanting is free. Maya's phone buzzed once inside the metal tin, then died again. Rumors turned into sources say, she added. They are building a story. Cold CEO, mystery woman, secret baby, late-night clinic. They want blood or a confession. Or both. Damon looked at Lily. We will not give them either, he said. We keep the baby safe. Then I deal with Grant. Lily nodded. Her face was pale and set. She still felt the voice from the night in her bones. Room C. How did you like the lavender? She wanted to ask who the man with the skull ring was. She wanted not to say his name. She did both at once by keeping quiet. Maya checked the thin office window. The street outside was empty. Neon open blinked low. Then her cousin flicked it off. From the sidewalk, the shop looked closed. From the alley, the side door looked like a wall. Move plan, Maya said. We cannot sit here. We used the clinic door. We used the bridge in. Both burned. We need a place with control, cameras we own, doors we lock. She met Damon's eyes. Your place, Lily stiffened. Is that safe? She asked. She pictured glass walls and views and headlines. It is safe if I say it is safe, Damon said. No heat, only fact. Private elevator. Private garage. Steel doors. My network. My rules, Maya nodded. We ghost our trail. We swap cars twice. We move like laundry. Her cousin smiled at that. I can help, he said. He rolled 2 large blue carts from the back. They smelled like soap and warm metal. He loaded each with clean cloth bags and soft folded towels. He tapped the lids. People do not chase laundry. Good, Maya said. We go now. They moved fast, but they did not look like people in a rush. Damon wore an old hoodie over his shirt. Maya pulled a baseball cap low. Lily wrapped Noah close, then slipped into the empty belly of a cart. Her legs curled around the baby. The nurse's blanket around both of them. Damon placed towels on top, one neat stack after another, as if making a bed inside a secret. Breathe slow, Maya said to Lily. He will feel you, small breaths. It is short. Lily nodded. She breathed. Noah matched her. The cart lid came down, not tight, just close. They rolled out the side door. Morning air held the cold taste of wet iron. The alley had that old city smell. Rain, oil, bread from a far bakery. Maya pushed one cart. Damon pushed the other. The cousin walked behind them, talking loud in a fake argument about lost socks for any ears that might listen. They turned the corner and reached a white van with chipped paint. Hernandez Laundry was written on the side, letters tired but still proud. Carts inside. Doors shut. Van pulled out like any weekday van. At the next street, Maya switched to a small blue sedan waiting by a curb. She drove it 2 blocks, cut left, and parked by a grocery store. They got out and walked with empty hands like people going for bread. At the far end of the lot, a dark SUV with a dented bumper idled. Damon tapped the door twice, a small pattern only 2 people knew. The driver rolled down, an old friend with quiet eyes. Take the laundry van to Harbor Road, Damon said. Circle. Be seen. The driver nodded once and left. Maya's sedan went the other way with the cousin at the wheel. He waved once in the mirror. Damon, Lily, and Maya slid into the dented SUV. It smelled like coffee and paper maps. They drove with the flow, not fast, not slow. At a light, a black SUV eased into the cross lane. The skull ring man? The windows were dark. The light turned green. The other car did not follow. It chose a different street. It was enough to make the heart kick anyway. 2 more turns, Maya said. Garage is below the tower. Gate reads plates. It will read mine, Damon said. And only mine. They dipped down into the belly of the city. The ramp curved. A camera blinked. The gate rose. The SUV slid into a world of echo and concrete. Damp air, distant fans. Rows of sleeping cars like gray whales. Eyes up, Maya said. They parked in a private bay. A steel door stood there with a small panel. Damon pressed his palm. The panel blinked green. The door opened on a narrow hall lined with black glass. Cameras inside the walls, not outside. My cameras, my rules, he had said. Now it was true. Inside, Damon said. They took a private lift. No buttons for floors. Only a key slot and a card reader. Damon turned a key. The lift moved. The ride was silent and fast like a held breath. The doors opened into a high, quiet space. This was not a show-off penthouse. It was a fortress that happened to be beautiful. Low light, clean lines, a long wall of art that did not shout for attention. The windows looked at the city like a king looks at a map. The air smelled like cedar and rain. Shoes, Maya said softly. More a habit than a rule. She checked corners, cameras, sensors, locks. She spoke to the system in a few short codes. The system blinked awake like a smart animal and showed the building on a wall. A map with tiny lights for doors, elevators, service halls. Lily stepped in and then stopped. On a side table in a simple black frame, there was a photo of a young woman laughing beside Damon. The woman had the same sharp eyes as Damon, but warmer, like morning sun. Lily felt a tug in her chest and looked away at once. Damon saw the glance and said nothing. His face did not soften. It did go quiet. He turned to the security map. Lock the south service door, he said. No exceptions. Block any access requests from external firms. Maya's fingers moved. Done, a soft chime. The screen showed a request at the front desk downstairs. Grant security with papers. 4 men in black coats. One carried a flat case. On his hand, the light caught metal. Not a skull. Just a ring, but Lily flinched anyway. Deny, Damon said. Call building council. Call my team. Maya hit keys. Denied. Council alerted. Another chime. Compliance officer requesting remote access to private cameras for safety review. Deny, Damon said again. My building. My cameras. Maya smiled without humor. Denied. Noah stirred and made a soft protest. Lily sat on the big couch and cuddled him close. Shh, she said. We are on a cloud. The couch did feel like one. Deep, soft, a safe sea in a hard room. A second screen woke on the wall next to the map. The boardroom camera came up. Long table. Cold lights. Men and women in dark suits. Empty coffee cups like white stones. At the head of the table, a chair waited for Damon. At the far end, Mr. Grant sat not in his seat but in a place that let him look at everyone at once. He had a clean smile and careful hair. In front of him lay a file with tabs and colors like candy. Maya looked at Damon. Join? Audio only, he said. They can hear me. They cannot see my home. She opened the line. Speakers clicked. The boardroom filled the room like a ghost came to visit. Mr. Cole, the chair said. We are here under emergency order. I know, Damon said. His voice was flat and clear. I am here. Grant spoke as if he were reading a bedtime story to the press. We have compliance flags, sudden cash withdrawals, and a midnight incident. He did not say woman. He did not say baby. He smiled toward the empty head chair. We all care about image and risk. We all care about truth. We care about lies less, Damon said. A few heads turned. Someone coughed. Grant slid a document forward. Your accounts are frozen across 3 banks, he said. For review. He lifted his eyes in a face of fake pain. Until we are sure the company is not exposed, we must appoint a temporary acting CEO. Silence filled. It had the weight of a vote dressed like a fact. Compliance holds do not remove a CEO, Damon said. Board votes do, and golden shares do. Grant's smile bent. He did not look at the far wall where a locked cabinet sat in Damon's office 3 miles away, holding the paper that proved those shares. He looked at faces. He liked faces better than paper. We have another concern, he said, smooth again. Security. Last night you were recorded with an unknown woman, an infant. That is your private life. But when your private life draws risk to company doors, he spread his hands. We must know who she is. Damon did not look at Lily. He looked at the screen. You need to know that a child needed air, he said. That is all you need. Grant's eyes cooled 1 more degree. Refusal noted. Maya handed Damon a small black card. Pediatric specialist on line 3, she whispered. He will come here for a listen. Fee is large. Damon nodded once. He reached for his wallet. He took out a black card. He did not use it. He remembered the tracker in his coat, the device in the key fob, the way the world wanted to sit in his pocket. He put the card away. From a hidden drawer, he pulled a plain envelope and took out neat stacks of cash. Maya raised a brow. For the doctor? For the doctor, Damon said. He counted once. He did not check twice. He turned back to the board call. I will not step down, he said. Not for rumor. Not for a staged review. You want removal? Call a full vote. Put your names on the record. This is a vote, Grant said softly, as if enjoying the taste of the words. We can do it now. Then do it clean, Damon said. Unmute the roll. Say your yes and no, and do it with counsel present. The chair cleared his throat. We will take a short recess, he said too fast. The screen went still. The sound cut, Maya smirked. They blinked. They will come back with a script, Damon said. I will bring a knife. He did not mean a real blade. He meant a file. On his screen, he opened a secure folder and dragged a document to his desktop. It held a trail of numbers and times, a map of money that did not match. He had not wanted to use it yet. He had planned to wait to set the stage. The skull ring had rewritten his plan. Lily watched him as he worked. She saw the way his face changed when he moved numbers, like a chess master moving rooks no one else could see. She saw the photo frame again in the corner. She could not stop looking now. The woman in the photo had the kind of smile that makes other people smile. The frame had a tiny scratch on one side, the kind a person gets when they carry a thing from one home to another because they cannot leave it behind. Who is she? Lily asked soft. Damon's hands paused over the keys. A long breath lived between 2 seconds. My sister, he said. The words tasted like iron. She died. I did not listen in time. Lily's throat tightened.
I am sorry, she said.
She meant it in her bones. He nodded once. He did not look at the photo. He looked at Noah. I will listen now. A soft chime cut the room in half. Not the board. Not the door. A different sound. The baby monitor. They had not set a baby monitor. Maya's eyes snapped to the security wall. A new icon pulsed on the map. A tiny red dot tagged BL device moving through a shaft behind the kitchen wall. Slow like a spider learning a room. It was not their device. It was someone else's. It had woken when it felt the warm breath of a child. How did it get in? Maya breathed. Vent, Damon said. He tapped keys. Cameras in the service duct lit up. Dark metal, dust, a small black puck stuck with tape inside the vent grill, blinking like a wicked little heart. Kill air, Damon said. Seal that shaft now. Maya cut the airflow. Dampers slid shut with a heavy thunk. The tiny dot stopped. It still blinked. It still listened. A call came from the lobby desk on speaker. The guard sounded strained. Mr. Cole, Grant Security is back with different papers. They say you have a child at risk here and they need to assist removal for safety. They have a paramedic vest. None of them smell like a hospital. Lily pulled Noah closer. No, she whispered. Damon's voice was a stone in a river. Do not let them up. The guard hesitated. They say they have police on the way. Counsel is on the way faster, Damon said. Hold. He shut the line and looked at the map again. Another alert popped at the garage. A private car had pulled into someone else's leased bay with a code that should not have worked. His system bloomed red lines, south stairwell, service corridor, maintenance lift. They found a third way, Maya said, already moving to a console with manual overrides. I can slow them, not stop them. Damon stepped between Lily and the hallway. He was not a wall now. He was a door that chooses who passes. The board call flashed green. Reconvene. Grant's voice flowed back into the room like cool smoke. We appreciate your patience, Mr. Cole, he said. Shall we vote? Behind his smile, someone else's footsteps echoed up a service stair. In a vent, a small device listened to the breath of a child. At the lobby desk, a man with the wrong kind of ring tapped his finger. Tap, tap. Damon lifted his chin and said, Yes, let's vote. A soft knock touched the penthouse door from the inside hall. Not 2 taps, pause 1. A different pattern. Lily's eyes found Damon's. Maya's hand froze above the console. The knock came again. Slow, calm, confident. Whoever stood outside knew they were home. The knock came again. Slow, calm, too sure of itself. Maya lifted a hand. Quiet. She slid to the door, stayed to the side, and watched the tiny hallway camera on the wall screen. A man stood there with a black doctor's bag. Mid-40s, clean coat. Bare hands, no ring. He looked straight at the lens and waited. Credentials, Maya called through the door. The man held up his badge to the camera. Dr. Rohan Hale, Pediatrics. The badge looked real. The face matched. He kept his eyes steady. What is the phrase? Maya asked. He blinked. Phrase. Then wait, Damon said. He called downstairs. Front desk, put the doctor on your camera now. A second feed appeared, the lobby angle. Same man, same bag, same face. The guard spoke into a hall mic. Say your code. Dr. Hale looked confused. You only gave me an address, he said. You said the baby can't wait. Maya and Damon traded a look. The voice in the laundromat had said Room C Lavender. It had used the kind of detail a spy uses. They could not risk a trick again. Damon chose. Maya, escort him. 2 guards, north elevator. Scan the bag. No loose helpers. If anything is wrong, turn him around. Maya moved. The screen showed her stepping into the hallway with 2 building guards. She kept one hand on her jacket, the way a person does when her other hand is on a hidden weapon. Dr. Hale opened his bag for the metal wand. No extra phone. No hidden piece. Just a portable nebulizer, a small stethoscope, and neat plastic vials. 5 minutes later, Maya brought him in. The door closed with a thick, safe sound. Dr. Hale took one look at Noah and got to work. His hands were calm and gentle. He set the tiny mask, listened to the chest, watched the numbers rise and fall. You did well last night, he told Lily. His lungs sound easier now. Fever is lower. He needs rest, steam, and 2 small doses every 8 hours. If he slows his breath and eats, it's a good sign. Lily's shoulders softened. Thank you, she said. It was the kind of thank you that lives in the heart for years. Damon paid in cash. Dr. Hale did not look at the money long. He looked at the baby. I will come back this evening, he said. Same door. Same scan. He glanced at the security wall. You are careful. Good. Be careful for a week. He packed his bag and left with Maya the same way he came. The door sealed. The penthouse grew quiet again, except for the soft hiss of steam and the small sounds of a child breathing. The board call flashed on the wall. Reconvene. The same faces. Mr. Grant's careful smile. Maya muted them for a moment. They can talk to the air, she said. Let's lock our air first. She pulled up the vent map again and sealed 2 more shafts. The little BL device icon in the kitchen died at last, its red blink going dark. Damon stood near the couch. He looked at Lily. You asked who she was, he said quietly, nodding at the photo on the table. She was my sister, Ava. Lily held Noah and listened. She did not push. She did not blink much. She knew this kind of voice. It belongs to a person who has carried a story like a stone for a long time. 2 years ago, Damon said, I signed a policy to cut non-essential unlocks after hours. The rule said, emergency cabinets stay locked until security codes are entered. The goal was neat. Less waste. Less theft. He stared at his own hands. Ava had asthma. She worked late. She was in our building. The night guard on duty that week was new and slow. He had the code printed on paper. He had to find it. He swallowed. By the time he found it, Ava was on the floor. Lily's breath caught. I'm sorry, she said. The words were simple. They were enough. I was in a meeting, Damon said. My phone vibrated. I silenced it. I told myself I would look in 10 minutes. He shook his head once. There are minutes that never forgive you. Silence held for a beat. The steam hummed. The city waited beyond the glass. Lily looked at Ava's smile in the frame. She understood something about Damon without him saying it. The hardness was not born in him. He built it after. He poured cement over a break and called it a style. That style was cracking now. My turn, Lily said. Damon's eyes lifted. He said nothing. He did not have to. I worked at your daycare, Lily said. 5th floor baby room. I was a nurse there for 7 months. I loved the babies. I loved the tiny socks, the nap time faces, the funny little sneezes. She smiled, small and tired. It warmed the air. Her smile faded. There was a bad vent above the cribs. It blew cold air straight down. Dust came with it. I sent 3 reports. I sent photos. I asked for a simple fix. She looked at the floor. Nothing changed. A baby coughed. Another baby got a rash. I covered the vent with a soft cloth and a joke sign. The cloud is on a break. Mr. Grant saw the cloth on a tour. He said I broke policy and hit a hazard. He fired me the next day. Damon's jaw tightened. He knew the rule. He had signed it. No coverings on vents. Report to maintenance only. He had built a world where a cloth for a baby could become a weapon against a nurse. I tried to complain, Lily said. The HR woman smiled and gave me a paper to sign. I didn't sign it. Her voice dropped lower. Then my ex found out I lost the job. He said it was my fault, like always. He hit the table and broke a plate and said I would never see daylight if I talked to anyone again. She touched Noah's hat. Noah was 2 months then. I ran that night. I did not take anything but him. She blinked hard. The SUV last night is his friend's car. The skull ring. He wears one too. They do small jobs for people who do not want to be seen doing them. Someone paid them to watch the clinic. Someone told them my baby's name. She looked up. Her eyes were clear, even in fear. I think it was someone near Mr. Grant. Maybe the same security group. Maya had been listening while her fingers worked over the security console. She nodded once, sharp. Grant's pet firm bid for our building last year, she said. They lost to us. They were angry. They're men like skull rings and black SUVs. They brag in bars. I keep a list. She tapped the screen. Look, cameras showed the service stair. 2 men in dark jackets. One carried a flat case, the kind medics use. He did not walk like a medic. He walked like a man who expects locks to open. Maya cut to another feed. The lobby doors. Counsel had arrived. 3 lawyers. The old guard at the desk squared his shoulders. He gave the lawyers a small nod that said, "We are not cheap today." The board call unmuted itself with a chime as counsel plugged in. The chair cleared his throat. "We will now vote." "Before you do," Damon said, "I have something for the record." Grant's face smiled without his eyes. "Of course you do." Damon dropped a document into the share window. Numbers lined up like a quiet army. Names hid behind company shells. Dates told a story. This shows vendor payments routed through a new shell, he said. The shell pays your security partners. The dates match last night's compliance holds and emergency vote. You want to talk about risk? Let's talk about kickbacks. Grant's mouth tightened for the first time. Then he found his smile again. These are wild claims, he said. Pulled from where? Your personal files? Your private cameras? He looked around the table, hunting for a friendly face. We don't need drama. We need leadership. You need daylight, Damon said. We'll bring it. He did not say press. He did not have to. The words sat in the room like a bright, sharp thing. In the hallway, the 2 men reached the locked inner door to the penthouse wing. They slid a card. The light stayed red. One man took out a small device and touched the panel. The light blinked yellow, then red again. He cursed without sound. Maya smiled just a little. I like my doors, she said. A whisper touched the floor near the main entrance. A thin white rectangle slid under the door. Quiet as a breath, Maya froze. Damon moved first. He did not open the door. He crouched and hooked the card with a letter opener. He lifted the card. It was thick and heavy. No logo, no number, just one line cut into the paper with cold letters. Give her up. Lily saw it. Her fingers clenched around Noah. For a second, her old life flashed, a plate breaking, a door shaking, a voice saying she did not deserve air. Then the present came back. Damon stood between her and the door. He held the note like a thing he could break. He did not look cold. He looked decided. He turned to Maya. Stage 1, he said. Maya's eyes lit with a plan. She hit 3 keys. The ceiling lights dimmed. The hallway lights went bright. The service cameras sharpened. The map changed colors. Trap 1, ready. Make noise, Damon said. Maya opened the internal hall mic. Grant Security, she said in a friendly voice. We see you on the service stairs. We can let you in if you show badges to the camera. Both men looked up. One raised his hand to cover the lens. The other laughed and leaned closer to the mic. His teeth were too white for the dark hallway. Cute, he said. His friend stepped closer to the door panel with the small device, and a spray of invisible dye hit his hands and face from a seam above the frame. He jerked back, swearing. The dye had no smell. It had no color at first. Then it began to glow under Damon's lights, a soft blue blaze. His face lit like a mask. Maya's voice went calm. You just registered yourself on 6 cameras, she said. If you touch another door, your glow will be all over the lobby and the sidewalk. He looked up into the lens and flipped at his ring finger. The ring had no skull. It had a flat face. Angry men wear many kinds of metal. They retreated 1 flight down. Maya tracked them on the map. Vacate. Regroup. The boardroom rustled. A woman on the far side cleared her throat and said, "I move to delay the vote for 24 hours. Second, another voice said. Grant looked at the chair, smiling tight. We cannot let fear run us. We will let counsel run us, the chair said, tired now. Motion for delay is carried. Mic clicks, chairs scrape. The call ended. Damon's chest loosened a fraction. He put the give her up card in a plastic sleeve and set it under the camera like a trophy. Let them see their own handwriting, he said. Lily watched him. She saw something change in him again. He had moved from defense to offense. He would not only block, he would break the hand that knocked. Why help me? She asked, her voice small and real. You could have closed your door and called it a night. Why me? Damon did not look at the photo this time. He looked at Noah. Because I did not listen once, he said. I listen now. And because this is not only about you. He tapped the document still open on the screen. It is about the kind of men who think they can buy fear and sell lies around children. A new buzz rose from the corner. The baby's tiny monitor made a low alert. Not danger, just a nudge. Noah woke and fussed. Lily rocked him, whispering small sounds. It's okay, little bird, she said. It's okay. Maya checked the vents again. Clear, she said. She checked the doors. Locked. She checked the garage. We have a visitor. On the garage feed, a rental car rolled to the private bay. The plate was new. The driver stepped out. The camera caught his face. The jaw, the eyes, the silver skull ring. He found the code, Maya said. No, Damon said. He zoomed the feed. The gate behind the bay had a fresh dent. The keypad hung crooked. He broke the door. The man in the skull ring looked up into Damon's camera like a person who enjoys being seen. He touched the ring to his lip. Tap, tap. Then he pointed up, toward the ceiling, toward the lift, toward them. The elevator number over the garage changed from L to 1. Unplug it, Damon said. Maya hit a switch. The lift froze between levels. The skull ring man tilted his head and smiled. He reached into his jacket and pulled out a small black disc, the same size as the tracker from Damon's coat. He stuck it to the elevator door. The camera picked up a faint LED shine, wicked and patient. What is that? Lily asked. A friend for a door, Maya said. Her voice had no fear in it, only focus. If it hugs long enough, the lock forgets its job. How long? Damon asked. Maya looked at the feed and the code on her panel. 10 minutes, she said. Maybe less. They had 10 minutes to move a baby, a mother, and a war to safer ground. A soft scrape slid under the penthouse door again. Another card. Damon hooked it up with the opener. This one had a single word. The card said one word. Tick, Maya checked the clock. 9 minutes, she said. Maybe less. In the garage feed, the skull ring man tied the black disc to the elevator door and smiled at the camera like he was smelling victory. Upstairs, the penthouse was quiet, warm and full of small sounds. Steam, soft breathing, the hum of screens. It felt like a calm room in the middle of a battlefield. Damon did not raise his voice. Stage 2, he said. Maya moved. Lights shifted. Doors locked. The map of the building on the wall blinked from green to a hard white. A maze they controlled. She pulled a small glass vial from a drawer and snapped it open. The air filled with a clean scent. Lavender. Lily flinched. Room C, she whispered. Good, Maya said. Let him chase his own memory. She dabbed the scent along a hallway towel and hung it on a rack near the wrong door. Hunters follow smell before they follow sense. The elevator number on the garage camera ticked upward 1 floor. The disc's LED pulsed faster. Move the baby, Damon said. His tone was soft, but it carried the room. They did not pick Noah up like cargo. They gathered him up like a promise. Lily tucked him to her chest. The tiny hat was snug. The clinic blanket was warm. His breath matched hers, small and steady. Maya opened a slim door beside the kitchen. Nothing grand, Just a service corridor the architect once called spine. At the end of that spine sat a steel room with no window and a second door that led to the freight shaft. The air smelled like cedar boxes and clean paint. Safe core, Maya said. No vents to the hall. No cameras but ours. Damon handed Lily a thin earpiece. I speak, you answer, he said. If I say drop, you drop. If I say quiet, you breathe like a mouse. I will, she said. Maya pushed the lavender towel under the main hall camera and cracked the outer door to leave a soft trail. On the map, 2 blue dots US slid into the spine. In the garage, a red dot him stood still and smiled. The elevator lock gave up with a sad little beep. 8 minutes, Maya said. Police? Damon asked. On the line, Maya said. But the city is on fire with false alarms. 6 stations report pulled boxes. Someone is playing with them. Guess who has friends in building security? Grant, Damon said. The board call pinged again. A message box on the wall. Press inquiry. Statement on mystery woman someone had leaked. The clinic flash was now a headline. Damon ignored it. He looked at Lily. Do not answer any knock, he said. Only our pattern, she nodded. Her hand tightened around Noah. I remember, she said. 2 taps, pause 1. Anything else was a wolf. Maya handed Damon a small remote with 2 buttons. Shutters and sprinkler, she said. Your hall. Your choice. Thank you, he said. Go, she said. Lily disappeared into the safe core. The door sealed with a heavy click that sounded like a vow. Damon stood alone in the main hall now. He was a man in a quiet storm, one hand on a remote, one eye on the map. The garage camera showed the skull ring man step into the elevator and lean back like he was at home. He whistled without sound. The doors closed. The car moved up. L to 1, 1 to 2. His hand tapped the rail. Tap. Tap. 7. Maya whispered. Damon hit shutters. In the service floor below the penthouse, steel sheets slid down into place. Hallways became dead ends. The elevator that should open on Damon's floor would now open onto a small box of light with no exits but the door it came with. Let him find our patients, Damon said. They watched the dots. Him rose, US held. The doors on Damon's floor opened. The skull ring man stepped out and met a new wall. He smiled anyway. He licked a thumb, touched the wall, laughed and turned to the scent of lavender coming from the wrong door. He forgot to be smart. He followed his nose. 6, Maya said. Damon waited until the man was under the ceiling seam. Then he hit the second button, sprinkler. It was not water. It was cold, hard air. A shock through the vents that blew the glow dye the men wore into a brighter blaze. It also dumped a mild legal fog that cameras loved and lungs hated. The skull ring man coughed, swore, put his hand to his mouth, and walked right into the closed shutter at the end of the wrong hall. Clang, he laughed. Angry and pounded once, tap. The sound came back alone, a dull echo. He lifted his head to look for the lens. He found it. He showed his ring to Damon again. The skull grinned back at the camera. Damon did not grin. He pressed shutters again. The panel over the elevator door dropped. Now the man was in a bright, clean box with nowhere to go. His partner on the stairs reached a second shutter and stopped. He tried a tool. It sparked and died. He swore too. 5, Maya breathed. We bought 5 good minutes. Freight, Damon said. Maya keyed the private lift to the freight shaft in the back core. The doors slid open to a square room with a metal floor and a service cage that could carry crates. It smelled like dust and rope. Damon opened the safe core door a hand's width. Lily's face waited close. Now, he said. We dropped 3 levels. Loading dock. Back street. Her eyes were big and clear. I'm ready, she whispered. She stood with the baby to her chest. The hat firm, the blanket snug. She moved like water. Quiet, sure, no waste. They stepped into the freight car. Maya hit service mode. The car groaned, then started to fall in a slow, steady ride. pH to 10. 10 to 9, the walls hummed. The building sang its morning song. Water in pipes, fans, far doors, near systems. Phone's off, Maya said. She paused. Dr. Hale will come back at 6. We will not be here. We will be somewhere better, Damon said. He put his hand against the wall of the cage as if he could hold it up if it failed. He could not. He would try anyway. On 7, the car stopped. No button had been pressed. Maya's jaw tightened. Manual brake from the hall, she said. Someone touched the shaft. The skull ring man looked up from the camera box he was trapped in. He had a radio. He was not talking. He did not need to. A third man, one they had not seen, had found the back path. 4 minutes, Maya said, calm as stone. Damon looked at the panel, then at the emergency hatch in the roof. We climb, he said. Baby, Lily said. She said it like a reason and a prayer. Maya opened a storage locker in the car and pulled out an old moving sling, thick canvas with straps. Nurse trick, she said. Hands free. She looped it around Lily and Noah. The baby settled into the pocket like a heartbeat. They climbed. Damon went first. He was not a man made for ladders, but he was a man made for decisions. He moved with clean, strong motions. Maya followed, light and fast. Lily rose last, careful and brave. The sling held. The baby slept on, soft and warm. Above them, the shaft was narrow and dim. At 6, a side door showed a slice of light. Voices moved beyond it. Damon held his breath and counted the rhythm of shoes. 1, 2, pause. 1. They waited until the feet passed. They moved again. On 5, Maya stopped and leaned her ear to the wall. Listen, she whispered. They heard water. Not rain, not pipes. A big water, a roll, a push. Loading dock, Maya said. We're close. They dropped back into the cage at 3 and kicked the brake. The car obeyed like a tired animal that still loved its owner. It slid to 2, the dock level. The doors opened to a world of pallets, rolling carts, and gray light. The air tasted like diesel and cardboard. Maya scanned once. Clear, she said. They crossed the dock. A delivery tunnel ran like a throat under the street to the next block. Old city bones no one remembered unless they worked at dawn. Through there, Maya said. Damon nodded. He glanced back at the dock camera. He toggled a switch. Upstairs, shutters clicked open. The box around the skull ring man unfolded. He would move. He would run. He would follow the lavender. Let him. They entered the tunnel. It was low and ugly and blessed, concrete, leaking pipe, a broom left against a wall 15 years ago. The lights hummed in a line, yellow and brave. The tunnel bent left, then right, then climbed. At the end sat a rolling door with a chain. Maya pulled it. It moved an inch, then stuck. She put her whole small body into it. It groaned. It rose. Cold air rushed in, smelling like rain and bread, the back of a bakery on the next block. A woman in a flower coat looked up, saw nothing, and kept kneading dough. She did not care who the door let in. She cared about bread. Thank you, Lily whispered to the air, to the bread, to this plain good world. They slipped out to the alley. The city meant for day had started. Trash trucks, dog walkers, a bus sighing. Normal life is a shield if you know how to stand under it. Maya led them to a waiting car. Not Damon's, not Maya's. A nondescript station wagon with a roof rack and a faded bumper sticker that said, I break for cake. Whose? Lily asked. Friend's friend, Maya said. He owes me 2 favors. This pays 1. They climbed in. Lily in back with Noah. Damon beside Maya. She drove into sunlight like a person who had always lived there. In the mirror, no black SUV, no skull ring. Just morning, 3 blocks, 5, 10. The tower fell behind them and became part of the skyline again. On a corner, a newsstand had papers with Damon's face on them. A bold line shouted, Cold CEO, warm secret. The photo was the flash at the clinic. The angle made Lily a shadow and Noah a glow. Damon did not look away. Good, he said. They will come. We will speak. Where? Maya asked. Truth needs a door, Damon said, and a camera we own. He thought for one breath. Southside Community Hall, the one with the old stage and the red chairs. Your mother sang there. Maya blinked. You remember that? I do now, he said. She nodded. We can fill that room in an hour with press and parents, she said. And nurses. And lawyers, Damon said. And 3 old women who keep the minutes and never lie. Maya smiled. I know all 3. Lily listened. Power moved in the car like a warm, quiet river now. Not the crash of a storm, the steady push of a tide. Her phone buzzed in the metal tin on the floor. It should not buzz. Maya frowned. She lifted the lid a crack. A message had pushed through the block anyway, like water finding a crack in stone. Unknown. You run in circles. We draw straight lines. Attached was a photo. It was the freight shaft. It was empty. Maya's jaw set. They found the cage, she said. They found nothing that matters, Damon said. They reached the hall by the river. The sign was old. The bricks were kind. Inside, the stage had a chipped blue edge. The lights worked if you hit the switch twice. The red chairs waited patiently. Maya made 3 calls. She used no names. She used only trust. People answered. People said yes. A coffee urn began to breathe. A mic crackled. A banner came out of a closet and shook itself free. Community meeting, child safety and truth. Damon set his laptop on a folding table. He opened the file that was a knife. Vendor shells, dates, payments, the path from company accounts to the firm with skull rings and black cars. He added 2 photos, the give her up card and the glow on the man in the hall. He added a third, Ava, his sister, laughing. He did not label it. He did not have to. Lily sat in the front row with Noah asleep on her chest. She felt the room change. As people walked in, press, parents, 2 nurses in faded scrubs, a man with a city badge, a woman with a notebook, 3 old women with pens and straight backs. Dr. Hale came too, quiet and on time. He checked Noah's breath and gave a small nod that put the world right for 1 more hour. Maya stepped to the back door to keep watch. The skull ring did not show. Not yet. Damon looked at the clock on the wall. 8:57. At 9, he said, we go live. He took a breath. He put his hands on both sides of the table like a person about to lift something heavy. He looked at Lily for 1 second. She looked back and gave a little nod that said, do it. The hall lights flickered once. Power check, Maya said. She hit the switch twice. The lights steadied. The mic popped. The small camera on Damon's laptop showed his face, steady and clear. 59. From outside a siren cried and then cut off short. Tires hushed on wet street. A door opened. Footsteps came quick. The back door handle turned. 2 taps, a pause, then 1. Maya let in the guard from Damon's building, out of breath, eyes wide. He held up his hands to show they were empty. I came alone, he said. They are moving again, they know the hall. How long? Damon asked. The guard looked at the clock. He swallowed. 2 minutes, he said. Einriker Damon clicked go live. The small camera showed his face, calm and clear. The hall was full of red chairs and quiet breath. Reporters lifted their phones. Parents held coffee cups with both hands. The 3 old women in the front row opened their notebooks and clicked their pens like tiny swords. Good morning, Damon said. My name is Damon Cole. I am the CEO for now. A soft laugh moved through the room. He let it pass. Last night, he said, I helped a mother and her child in the rain. That is not a scandal. That is normal. And if it is not normal, I will make it normal. He tapped his laptop. The projector showed a clean page of numbers. These are vendor payments, he said. They look fine until you follow the lines. He pressed a key. The lines lit up like a web under glass. Company names, shell names, dates, amounts. The web tied to Grant's security partners. Money went out of our company accounts, Damon said, then came back as favors. Favors that looked like emergency holds, fake alarms, and men at doors. He clicked again. A still image filled the screen. The intruder in Damon's hallway with glow dye blazing on his hands and face. Gasps rose from the chairs. You see this man, Damon said. He walked toward a child and a mother. Not to help, to remove. He failed. A reporter called out, Do you have proof these payments linked to Mr. Grant? Damon's eyes did not move. We have invoices, we have timing, we have messages, and we have counsel. The board delayed a vote this morning. They will need daylight. He looked to the side. Counsel? A city lawyer stood. We've issued a preservation notice to the banks and a referral to the DA, she said. We also asked for police support at this address now. Dr. Hale stepped forward with his badge on a lanyard. He spoke simple, plain. The baby is stable, he said. He needed steam, warmth, and medicine. He has them. He does not need men with skull rings. Small laughter broke like light through clouds. The tension in the room softened just a little. Damon looked into the camera again. I made bad rules, he said. His voice went low and steady. 2 years ago, my sister Ava died because a cabinet stayed locked while a guard found a code. I wrote that rule and I told myself it was smart. I told myself it was strong. It was lazy and cruel. He let the words live in the air. No music, no spin, only truth. I will not make that kind of rule again, he said. Today I am changing 5 things. He lifted one finger. 1. We start the Ava Fund with $25 million. It pays for emergency care for mothers and babies who have no papers, no insurance, or no time. No names asked at the door. Just help. He lifted a second finger. 2. Our daycare reopens next week under independent nurses and parents, not corporate managers. Safety is not a footnote. Safety is the title. The new rule is simple. If a nurse says stop, the building stops. He lifted a third finger. 3. Everyone fired for speaking about safety can come back with back pay. That includes Lily. He glanced at her, then back at the room. But she is not coming back as a nurse. Lily's breath caught. The room leaned in. She comes back as head of safety and care, Damon said. Full authority, full veto. She reports to the board and to the community, not to me. If I ever disagree with her on a matter of child safety, I lose. The old women wrote those words down, each letter slow and exact. A murmur of approval moved through the red chairs, strong and warm. 4. We create an external safety council, Damon said, with seats for parents, nurses, and city inspectors. Meetings are open. Minutes are posted. If they say our doors must unlock at 2 a.m., then our doors unlock at 2 a.m. He lifted a fifth finger and let it hang in a still air. 5. Power. I am stepping down as acting CEO while this is fixed. I keep no hands on day-to-day controls. I will serve only as chair for families and safety, without vote on money until the council says we are clean. I give up the part of power that breaks people. I will hold the part that holds doors open. The room went silent, then bright with voices. You could feel the surprise hit like soft thunder. Reporters forgot to hide their shock. Parents smiled with their eyes. The 3 old women stopped writing and nodded once. A hand rose in the third row. A young father with a sleepy toddler on his shoulder asked, "Who runs the company then?" Damon did not look at Mr. Grant. He did not need to. Until the board appoints a new CEO, Maya will run operations with the Safety Council, he said. Heads turned to the back of the hall. Maya lifted a hand. She did not look thrilled. She looked ready. She is not a show face, Damon said. She is a system. She knows this city and its doors. She knows how to say no. She will say it often. The building guard stepped in from the back, breath steady now. He raised a small UV light and washed it over the main door. Blue arcs danced. We had visitors, he said. They left a present. Maya crossed to him, took the light, and shone it low. A thin line glowed across the threshold. Powder, like a net. Trip dye, she said. They wanted to mark our shoes for later. Track us to cars. Lazy trick. She kicked the line into a dustpan and snapped a lid over it. Not today. From the street came a smooth engine note. The back door handle turned, not their knock, 2 taps, pause, 2. Everyone went quiet. Damon didn't move toward the door. He moved the crowd with his voice. Stay seated, he said. We do this in the open. He nodded to Maya. She opened the door a hand's width. The skull ring man stood there with a smile too white for mourning. He wore a delivery jacket now, the kind that belongs to no company. Behind him, another man waited with empty hands and greedy eyes. Package, the skull ring man said, for Mr. Cole. Maya didn't blink. We don't sign for poison, she said. She clicked on the UV light and painted his hands in blue fire. The glow rose like a confession. A laugh slipped out from the red chairs. Not kind, true. The skull ring man's smile bent. He pushed against the door. He met something hard. Damon had not moved, but he was there. 1 step behind Maya. A wall you do not see until you walk into it. Police are 2 blocks away, the city lawyer called from the aisle. Also 3 reporters who love bad men in cuffs. For the first time, the skull ring man looked past the door and saw the camera on the tripod and the three old women with pens like needles. The world was watching. The blue glow on his skin said, "I was here." His eyes did the math. He stepped back slow. He lifted his hand and tapped his ring twice on the door frame. Tap, tap. Then he smiled a thin last smile and walked away. Maya shut the door and slid the bolt. She turned the UV light off. The room exhaled as one. Damon faced the camera again. "One more thing," he said. "Lily needs protection. Today we file for a restraining order with emergency status. My legal team will handle it. My company will fund it. And we will offer this service to anyone with a baby and a threat. We do it now." He turned to Lily. He did not make a show. He lowered his head like a man asking for a heavy favor. "I'm sorry," he said. "For the vent. For the rule. For the way the world made your fear. I cannot fix your past. I can stand in front of your future." Lily's eyes filled, then steadied. "Then stand," she said softly. Noah stirred, made a small sound like a bubble, then relaxed again. The room smiled without meaning to. Maya stepped to the mic. "You want simple steps?" she asked the crowd. "Here." She lifted a sheet and read, plain as bread. "Every building makes a 2-minute unlock plan. Nurses get keys that do not wait for codes. Vents get checked weekly. When a parent or nurse says cold air on crib, the vent shuts that day. Not a report, a fix." She held up the paper. "We'll post this list at noon." A nurse in faded scrubs raised a hand. "Put my name on that council," she said. "I've been loud for 20 years. "Good," Maya said. "We need loud." The hall doors opened again, this time with sirens outside and real badges inside. 2 officers entered, the city lawyer at their side. They took statements with care. They took the dye can with gloved hands. They shook the old women's hands as if that mattered, and it did. A reporter called out, "Mr. Cole, are you afraid of losing your company?" Damon answered without delay. "I am afraid of losing one more child," he said. "The company can survive truth. A child cannot survive a locked door." The live stream chat on the side of the screen raced like rain. "Respect. About time. Ava Fund link. Nurse here. I'll help. Grant is finished. Make the vent list public. Where to donate blankets." Words turned into hands. Hands turned into work. Maya's phone buzzed in the tin. She checked it, lifted her eyebrows, and passed it to Damon. A message from the chair of the board. Interim accepted. Grant suspended pending investigation. Safety Council approved. Damon set the phone down as if it weighed the right amount. He looked at Lily, then at the 3 old women, then at the camera. "Meeting adjourned," he said. The room stood and clapped, not wild, not hungry, steady, grateful. The sound was like rain on a roof that does not leak anymore. Outside, the police found the skull ring man 2 blocks away by a broken keypad. The UV light loved his hands. Cameras loved his face. The morning loved that arrest like a small, clean truth. Inside, Dr. Hale checked Noah one more time and smiled. "He is a strong little river," he said. Lily laughed through a breath. "He is," she said. She touched the tiny hat. She kissed the soft forehead. She looked at Damon. "Thank you," she said, the same way she had said it at the clinic, but deeper now, like it reached ground. Damon did not make a speech. He picked up a folded banner from the table. It read Ava Fund in fresh paint. He held one end. Maya held the other. Lily stood between them with Noah and let the banner cover them all for one small photo that did not need flash. Later, when the board met in a cold room with hot coffee, Damon walked in, placed a signed letter on the table, and walked back out. The letter said what he had already told the world. "I am stepping down from the seat that moves the money.
I am stepping up to the work that opens doors."
No one tried to stop him. They were busy choosing who they wanted to be after the storm. That night the rain returned, soft and tired. The city lights made long gold roads on the wet street. Damon stood under the bridge where the Bridge Inn sign buzzed, and he watched volunteers carry boxes into a new space. The first Ava house. Warm rooms for mothers. Soft chairs, a corner with tiny socks, a shelf with formula and patience. The door had a rule on it in big, simple letters. If you knock with a baby, the door opens. Always. Maya came to his side. "They're here," she said. Parents, nurses, a few of Damon's staff. The old guard from his building. The 3 old women with their notebooks. Dr. Hale with a tired smile. Lily with Noah, a steady light in her eyes. She walked to Damon. She was not small now. She was not hiding. She held Noah like a captain holds a flag. "Tomorrow," she said, "we start the checks." "We do," he said. "Vent first," she said. "Vent first," he agreed. They stood in the rain and did not mind it. The storm that began at a bus shelter had changed shape. It had learned a better job. Far away, a man without his ring sat in a hard chair under a blue light and learned that some doors closed the other way. In a boardroom, a file with candy tabs lost its sweetness. In a clinic, a nurse took down a cloth from a vent and replaced it with a proper fix, same day. And in a warm room with steam and soft lamps, a baby slept with the easy breath of a small king. Lily sat with him and wrote a new rule on a scrap of paper and taped it to her heart. "The world can be hard. We will be softer and stronger." Damon stepped back into the rain. He did not open his umbrella. He lifted his face to the sky. Once he had ignored the rain. Now he stood in it for others.